So here's the water. You know, we're looking at it from the side. Waves. Here we go. Waves and stuff. And actually, for the fun of it, there's some birds. Probably off to drown in the middle of nowhere. Wait, even better. Have an island. You know, whatever. Off in the distance. So, we've got some, like, waves and stuff off in the distance. But we're using this as our center line for now. Alright, so you've got your skip bomber stuff coming in. They're coming in. They're going to do the thing. And you've got your first line, second line, and then your third line. So the first line has these little bars. And these little bars mean that you're going to drop your bombs. One hits here, one hits here, one hits here, one hits here. It's purely random. The next line has the little bars or whatever. Same thing. It's going to move. Whatever. It's going to change or something. In this case, they happen to be close. This last one does not have little bar lines. So in general, you can expect they're going to be fairly close to the line. So am I trying to say that the dispersion is like terrible on the first one, less terrible on the second, less terrible on the last? For all I know, you know, this could be out here instead. This could be here. So, I mean, it could also be terrible on the second. It's like you see these little guiding lines over here, which basically tell you the forward and backward dispersion. But what are the benefits of using the first, medium, and third? So if you've got your traveling line, do this. So the traveling line here is it comes up, and it comes down. Skips, comes up, and then it comes down. Hits. Same thing here. So if you're modeling this, you're kind of looking at it from the side. What do these lines give you in terms of an advantage? Whatever, we'll just do that for lulz. If you bomb with this last line, what happens if the enemy ship is here? Well, many of these bombs missed. All right. Well, ideally, then you're going to put the line directly on the enemy ship, or you're going to put it directly, you know, kind of behind the enemy ship so that as it falls, it'll fall into the ship or fall high on the ship, because it's going to have, you know, if you've got your enemy ship, doing enemy ship stuff, and here's the water line or whatever, if the bombs are going to land here, well, then they've got to come through to land, which means you hit high, or maybe they come down and you hit the deck or the superstructure or whatever. So you place that line further back so that the drop is going to hit higher on the ship. How about if you use the center line? Well, if you hit this line, there's a lot of dispersion, and you have a skip. But if you put your enemy ship here, the skip might start past it. You never had a chance to fall into the ship because it started past it. So in this case, it missed. In this case, it was too far. This case, it might jump up into the ship, and maybe this hits, or maybe it just passes by. So this, you know, it's possible, but let's put the ship here instead. Let's say this is where the DD is. Well, this one's too far. It doesn't interact. This one comes down, skips into the ship. This one's coming down, hits the ship on the way coming down. This comes down and either misses or bounces up into the ship. So this gives you an entry and an exit vector, whereas this only has a single, you know, exit vector, which may or may not merge with the ship. So this quote unquote gives you two lines coming to try to strike the ship. So you have more interaction than if you had a ship where your bombs could start here. And technically, I guess there's an entry line, but this entry line is a little different than the ground skips, because I think, let me move this down, actually. Move this down here. Or hell, let's just get rid of it. We can do that too. So I think that with the initial drop, the standard skip stuff would be something like this, but the initial drop, I believe, comes down from on high, so theoretically it's more likely to go over before it starts doing the jump. Like the down angle, I think, is sharper directly off the planes, but in general, this is going to give you kind of more of a traveling possibility. So the second line is good if you can catch the broadside. The far line is good if you've got a very stationary target or a target that's pretty successful, you can hit it, because it's theoretically it has the most or the best forward back dispersion. So it's going to give you the tightest spread. Especially if you're trying to bomb a battleship and you're trying to really just hit in this area. You know, you want a tight spread as opposed to something where it could just wham, hit up here, or just overfly, or do whatever the hell it's going to do. Hopefully that was helpful.